What's up, guys? Adam Green here with No More News. It is Sunday, June 8th, 2025, and this is Late Night Riot Watch. LA, ICE detentions, deportations, they're rioting, and joining me to discuss all of this, an expert in exposing communism and leftist groups and groups that are doing this stuff tonight, is back on the show. Karlyn Borisenko, Dr. Karlyn Borisenko, I should say.
Indeed. If we're being formal about it. Hey, Adam, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Yep. Somebody suggested it to me, and I thought, why not?
Who slid into your DMs and said, bring me on your show so we can talk about the riots?
Oh, it was my idea now. No. No, I thought about it. I was about to go to sleep, as you were, but I'm glad that we're covering the riots tonight because I want to do the show tomorrow and cover some other stuff. So exclusively, or almost exclusively, riots tonight. So
wow.
I'm going to pull up your Twitter and see what you've been saying about it today. My thoughts is hot takes. I just tweeted hot take on the riots, and Trump should pull out, obviously, all the police, and then just drop a nuke on LA. It's long overdue.
I think that's a really good idea. I don't think anything could go wrong with that plan. And I think, unironically, it would actually solve quite a few problems. And so, I'm in favor. Really, just demolish it, start over again. All the radicals are there right now. They're all in one place. What could go wrong?
Yeah, I think everybody would agree with that, too, actually. So, what are some of your initial thoughts? What has been some of your takes today about it?
Actually, right at the top of my... Why am I getting an echo, Adam?
I don't know.
What's going on?
Here, this will help. There you go. Gone.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So at the top of my page there, I'm actually kind of excited about all this, if I'm honest about it, because I, since January, have been screaming about the fact that Antifa was planning on attacking ICE facilities, because they've literally been writing about this stuff since right after Trump got elected in November. They've been openly planning and openly organizing it. I wrote a whole expose on their operational plan back in January. Per usual, no one listened to what I was saying. And then all of a sudden, Antifa's in LA starting fires to things and starting skirmishes with the police and doing literally exactly what they said they were going to do back in November. And everyone seems to be surprised about it. But had anyone been paying attention at all to what the far left was actually saying, it was extremely clear what was coming. And now we get to see it. And I get to say I was right and I told you guys so. And so I'm pretty happy about this.
Anyone who follows my content knows Antifa has been organized. So this is Antifa. It's not La Raza and Mexicans.
There are a whole bunch of different groups. There are tons of different groups. So yeah, La Raza is absolutely there, but the ones who are throwing the Molotov cocktails and doing the graffiti everywhere, that's Antifa. The ones that are like trying to provoke violent altercation with the police, that's Antifa, 100%.
I saw also, did you see Sam Tripoli posted some old thing he did on Joe Rogan where he said like, oh, some person he knows said that there's going to be immigration riots when Trump gets in?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but it wouldn't surprise me. Like I said, I literally read on Antifa's publishing website in January something they published a couple months beforehand, which in the appendix of the document, which was about resistance during the Trump administration, they laid out a whole plan for attacking ICE facilities. They told people exactly what to do. They told people like how to gather intel on them, what to do once they had it. And if you've been paying attention to what the left has been doing, they've actually been building up for months and months and months. They've been protesting outside of ICE facilities for months. It just hasn't really been widely covered. And so now what's happening in Los Angeles is like the perfect storm of a bunch of different things. There's, of course, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, which has been organizing for about 2 straight years, doing they've been doing mostly protests in New York and Washington, D.C., but they do have a large presence in Los Angeles. And so they're there. They're more of a pro-Palestine, free Palestine group. They're not prone to be as violent as Antifa, but I have seen them throwing rocks and things like that. So they are absolutely getting violent. There's Antifa groups that are there. There's also the groups that I don't have the greatest handle on are the Mexican nationalist groups, just because I don't track those groups at all. But I do know that there
Aren't
are
they really heavily present in Antifa and like left-wing communist Marxist groups
No.
too, though?
Well, so there are yeah, well, in Los Angeles specifically, there are a lot of far left groups that work with them specifically. I just don't track a lot of those groups because they don't actually play well with Antifa. It's actually funny. Antifa today on their website listed they basically told their side of the story with the protest. They listed a whole kind of like diary of like, here's what actually happened.
Mhm.
And in that piece, they talked about how they were fighting with the paid protesters. So Antifa is actually unironically like not getting along well with the other leftists out there, and I think they're starting like internal skirmishes or something.
Wouldn't be surprised at all that they're all fighting each other.
Yeah.
Did you see Laura Loomer post like time for Palantir to go and use facial recognition on everybody and get them all arrested? It
Laura
seems so that
Loomer.
yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
It just seems everybody's saying, "Oh, it's a psyop. It's problem reaction solution. They want this. This is for an authoritarian crackdown. This is so they can have Palantir and military on the streets." What do you think of all that?
Well, I think Laura Loomer is retarded when it comes to this stuff. And like, I have a great deal of respect for Laura Loomer for other things. But when it comes to this topic, she
Like
absolutely
being
has no
Jewish?
clue what,
You
well,
respect her Zionist
I
Zionist takes?
I respect her for calling out bad actors on the right, and I can, I mean, whatever. We
Like
can
who?
forgive bad takes. I think that she goes pretty aggressively at some people that I don't like, and so I don't mind
Oh,
watching
James
her go
Lindsay.
aggressively. Yes.
James Lindsay.
Private. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone going aggressively at James Lindsay is a friend of mine.
Mhm. So I saw you say something like people are asking why there's Palestinian flags here. Why are there Palestinian flags?
So, okay. So there is a solidarity that exists with different groups on the left. And essentially, what they believe is they are all in an uprising against the same enemy, and that enemy is capitalism, right? And so, for the Palestine protesters, the reason they're on the side of Palestine is not necessarily that they really care about Palestine. It's because they believe Israel are the settler colonists, the bourgeois oppressors that stole the Palestinian land, and the Palestinians are in their glorious uprising against their capitalist oppressors, which is Israel. And so, it makes sense for the far left to be on the side of the Palestinians, not because they're Muslim, not because of any other, not because they hate the Jews, because they don't really care that people are Jewish, but because to them, in their oppressor-oppressed
Because they
paradigm,
hate Nazis and anti-Semitism like
yeah,
just as much also. So it's not like they blame America and the West and Trump, but not actually Jews for
that's
Palestine.
yeah, that's 100% right. And actually,
Mhm.
there's a very big Jewish group called Jewish Voice for Peace that is highly active in the pro Palestine protests. And so the idea that they're Jew haters or anti Semites is ridiculous, and always has been. But no, they see it as an oppressor-oppressed narrative. So with the immigration protesters, it's exactly the same thing. So they see they're again far left revolutionary socialist groups.
Mhm.
They believe that all borders are created by capitalism because capitalism for them is private property ownership. So you can't have private property without borders. They want to eliminate all borders as a way of eliminating capitalism. And they believe basically that they're in the same fight. So the immigrants are in the fight against capitalism because of the border. The pro-Palestine protesters are in the fight against capitalism because it's all about a decolonization effort. So that's why they're there. I mean, they're all just far left radical revolutionary groups, and they're basically trying to tackle the same problem from multiple different angles.
So the problems being America, capitalism, white people, racism,
So
pretty
yeah,
much.
they believe that America was built on capitalism. So they call the government the capitalist government. They call the Constitution the capitalist Constitution, and they believe that they have to overthrow the government essentially in order to abolish capitalism. So yeah, essentially yeah, they do want to destroy everything. They want to rip down all the borders. They want to get rid of all genders. They want to get they want to. It's all the same kind of like revolutionary argument.
Okay, so what is this here? Antifa publishes their account of the
Yep.
LA riots. They believe this may escalate to be as large as the George Floyd uprising. So
Yep.
yeah,
So
this is probably only the beginning, right? This is gonna, I think San
oh
Francisco
yeah.
already started doing it too. They're gonna activate all their cells in all the big leftist cities, right?
Yeah, so what the groups and actually the Party for Socialism and Liberation, I have them on video specifically talking about doing stuff like this. What they're all trying to do is provoke what they call a pre-revolutionary crisis, because basically you're starting to see all these communist political parties pop up. You've got like the Party for Socialism and Liberation, you've got the Revolutionary Communists of America, you kind of technically have the DSA. They get involved sometimes, though not all the time. Essentially, they know they're never going to win elections. They're not building political parties to win elections. What they're doing is they're giving people something to join so that when the revolution actually starts, which they all believe is going to be pretty much any moment, they really do believe there could be some sort of major crisis that could spark their Marxist revolution at any time. And they basically want to have like the infrastructure already there so that they're already organized and they can already engage in the revolution. And so what they're trying to do with this is provoke a pre-revolutionary crisis. This is why we see Antifa getting overtly violent and tried to provoke the police. And honestly, I actually think that there's going to be a major mistake made by the Trump administration in like the next week or so that's probably going to spark something off rather large. There's also already next weekend a mass set of protests nationwide. There are going to be over 1,000 events nationwide, and this has been planned for over a month now. It's called the No Kings protest. And so this is something that was being planned by more kind of like progressive groups that was being organized by the teachers unions and stuff like that. But what happens when you have events like what's going on in Los Angeles is they look for things to kind of like latch onto. And so we're already seeing talk about, I've got people, I know a lot of people who are tracking this stuff, and we think there are going to be a lot of violent revolutionaries that come out next weekend on these already kind of planned protests that were going to happen anyway.
So you said you think Trump's going to do something that's like going to backfire or escalate all this.
Yeah.
How are they going to quell this? They're going to send in, have they already sent in the National Guard or
Well,
military?
they just called out 500 Marines that are going to go in. I
It doesn't
also
seem
think that,
like very many, right?
well, it doesn't seem like very many. And according to people I'm talking to, I don't think they're going to be armed. I don't know
What?
exactly what, I swear to God, I don't know exactly what they're going to do. And so what the sentiment that I'm hearing is that like, I think that Trump is really afraid of optics. And I think Trump is very afraid of actually confronting these people aggressively and actually like handling the situation in the way that it needs to be handled, which I think there needs to be overwhelming force. I think
Yeah,
all of
it's
these
because
people
it's
need to be
certainly
arrested.
out of control.
Yeah.
It needs something.
Well, it's
This
not
is
even just.
unacceptable.
Yeah, they're throwing Molotov cocktails at cop cars. They've been chucking rocks at the cop cars at the freeway. They blocked off the freeway today. It's like they're throwing fireworks. I mean, that guy, like in this video, you see a guy running around with a communist flag on. Like it's not like, we know what these people are doing.
I think we all just need to take a big deep breath and pray for peace and pray for LA.
I don't want
I'm
to pray for
joking.
LA.
I'm joking, obviously.
I'm on
No,
the
I
other
want to
side of the
burn it
country.
down to
I
the
don't care.
ground.
Yeah.
I hate LA. Have you been to LA before?
I've been to LA many times. I used to have to go to LA all the time for client stuff. And yeah, I hate LA. It's one of the worst places on the planet.
It's always a shithole. This almost just looks like a regular day in LA.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but yeah, this is unacceptable. Like, are the police just really this overwhelmed? You think that they
I don't,
would like, don't they have all this training and preparedness for this? And then they're just having all their cars destroyed. And also, what is the, like, do you know the protocol? Like, how come they're not shooting back or anything with all this stuff? They're throwing, huge boulders at him. Did you see you probably shared the video, the guy that was in the median and all the cars are driving by and he was
oh yeah.
throwing big rocks through the windshields of everybody? Like, how does that guy not get shot right away?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that. It does seem that Karen Bass, who's the mayor in LA, like obviously I think she's a little reticent to use the police, but what Karen Bass doesn't seem to understand is Antifa has already thrown her under the bus to their people. Antifa's already complaining about how Karen Bass sent out the LAPD to attack them. And so I don't know. Trump is not going in with enough force. The LAPD is not going in with enough force. Like every single person that should be arrested, because the thing about these people is like they're, I don't want to insinuate that they're like paid to be protesters because they're not, but like this is
Yeah,
all
that's what
they
Trump
do.
said. Trump said,
Yeah.
"Who's paying for
Yeah.
this?" It's like you don't have to pay for people to come out with their skateboards and throw some shit around. I don't see any like professional signs or anything. These people
No.
love to do this type of stuff. And here's the other thing that I think is weird. There's not that many people out here.
There was a lot more before this.
Okay.
There was
So,
some videos, and you can find them on my page, where they had probably 1,000 people that were just all across the highway, and they were blocking off the
okay.
whole thing. So I think this was like a lot after the
Like,
police had like
where's
dispersed
the
it.
army of the SWAT team and the riot police with their shields just to like push all these guys out and arrest everybody
Yeah.
all at once?
I don't
I don't understand it. This seems like it shouldn't be happening.
No, I totally agree. It shouldn't be happening. And even last night, outside of like I think the LAPD, they did have riot shields, but it was like this little tiny pathetic grouping of police officers, and it was like they're all so small, and Antifa's just there chucking stuff at them, and it's just like it's a sad display. Honestly, I feel like no one is actually taking this problem seriously. I like what I want to see going on in LA is I want to see Trump double and triple down on mass deportations. I want to see like busloads of illegal immigrants getting taken out. I want to see the National Guard lining all the streets where they're doing these immigration raids and just being like, you assholes stay the fuck back, and we're gonna get everyone out of here. And like they need to be arresting anyone that tries to stop them, like anyone and everyone. And I don't care how many buses they have to get or how many, like, what they need to do to house these people, but these people need to get off the street, because this is only going to escalate.
Yeah. Law and order.
Yeah. It's crazy. And these people want violence too. I mean, so this guy's actually interesting. So one of the things that James Lindsay, being an idiot, tweeted about earlier today is like, this guy is waving a Mexican flag, and he's also wearing a Palestinian headband. Do you know why they're doing that? Any guesses,
to
Adam?
make all the MAGA people hate Palestinians?
Well, probably. That's probably it.
Yeah, these optics, everybody, all Americans are going to want mass deportations after this. All they have.
I hope so.
Don't you think so?
I hope so. Yeah, that'd be great.
Trump says looking really bad in LA, bring in the troops. You know, this reminds me of like 2020 though, and BLM stuff. Trump talked a big game and just let the cities burn and didn't really do anything.
Yeah. And I don't think he's going to do anything now. I really don't. I think this is only going to get worse. I mean, we already saw last week they were doing kind of the same thing in Minnesota. Minnesota is extremely communist. I bet we're going to see this pop off in Chicago. I think we're going to see it in like San Francisco, Seattle, Portland. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about what's going on in like North Carolina. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw something in like Asheville, North Carolina, or something like that. Philadelphia has potential to pop off. I think there was something in San Antonio today. So there are different cities in Texas. I heard someone was talking about how groups were organizing in Arizona. So the
communists are really good at organizing, and they've been planning for this type of stuff for years, right? This is what they live for, communist revolution.
Yeah, that's exactly right. These are groups that organize with each other for years and years and years. And, you know, conservatives don't like think like these people. People on the right don't think like them. These are people that are like in it for the long haul. They really do believe they're fighting for revolution in this lifetime. And it's like, you know, people think that these protests are not spontaneous, but they're also not organized in the way that people think they are, in that they're not paid by some overlord coming out like handing out money for people to be there. That's not what's happening. What is happening is a whole bunch of groups that have revolutionary interests are constantly working together, constantly communicating with each other. And anytime they want to, they can basically organize a direct action to make things go haywire. And they're just kind of trying to figure out, like, what is the thing that's actually going to set it off?
And they had to know this was coming. Trump had promised deportation, so they were like ready, waiting for it.
Adam, when I say Antifa was literally writing about doing this on their website, what I mean is Antifa was literally writing about doing this on their website in like no uncertain terms at all. They plan this stuff out in the open. I stream their meetings all the time. They're very clear about what they're doing. The problem is that no one in the Trump administration is listening.
Yeah, you watch communists like I watch rabbis.
Yeah, exactly.
Painstaking work by loons.
Yeah. So I have great sympathy for you, because I know how maddening it is to sit there for hours and hours, but you get that one perfect clip out of it and it makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, and I got some good new clips coming tomorrow, guys, for the show, by the way. Okay, so they got the freeway shut down. They love to do that.
Yep. And this is actually a stunt that the Party of Socialism and Liberation is doing more lately. I saw them do this about a month ago for the May Day protests in Philadelphia, where they had like thousands of people and Bernie Sanders was there speaking and all that. And then they marched through the streets of Philadelphia and made this big show about shutting down kind of the main street just to get people arrested. By the way, people volunteer to get arrested at these things. And so even that piece is orchestrated. People volunteer to get arrested. They train them on how to get arrested. They already have lawyers set up. They have all this mutual aid stuff, so they don't even have to pay for lawyers or anything. Maybe not so much with this big group because this is pretty big. I think a lot of people just kind of show up and tag along. But I think the Party of Socialism and Liberation were the ones that started the takeover of the freeway. So,
and basically the mayor Karen Bass is encouraging it. I saw there's like some fat Mexican city councilwoman is also encouraging it. I just saw a statement put out by Kamala Harris also that's supporting it as well. And they're always like, Trump's authoritarian. Like, are we not a country? Do we not have borders? Should there be no penalties? People, are we supposed to signal to Mexico and South America and all over the world that if you sneak in, then you get to stay? Like, you get rewarded. If you get in, you get rewarded, you get to stay. And in California, they'll give you free healthcare, free school, free everything as a illegal alien that came in illegally. I don't care if you're not breaking any laws or you're criminal and stuff. You can't encourage that. It's not fair to people that do try to go through the process to get in also. So it's just fucked. And this is what California and leftist cities and states vote for and want.
Oh, yeah.
Disastrous. And this was just almost inevitable that something like this would happen.
I mean, it is inevitable because the reason it's inevitable, though, is because these people are serious about what they want. They want a communist overthrow of the federal government. They're going to continue to try to provoke action like this all over the country for as long as it takes until they get that. And they're just like waiting for their opportunity, right? And I think that a lot of people need to hinge into reality with what is actually going on here. And I know everyone has a narrative that they want to sell and everyone has a personal interest in twisting this scenario with what works for them. But these people are serious, and no amount of political narrative is going to change what they're trying to do. And they keep doing this regardless of who's in office too. They hated Biden and Kamala Harris just as much as they hate Trump.
Well, I wouldn't say just as much.
No, they really do.
He's way more of a villain, right-wing fascist villain. I'm sure they don't like Biden either, but
in some respects, they actually like Trump more because they can recruit and radicalize more people under Donald Trump than they can under Biden and Harris.
I didn't watch I know the video's going around, but of the Mexican president also, did you?
I didn't see that.
Do you know what she said? Oh, she didn't? Okay, I'll try to find that real quick.
Yeah, bring it up.
Mexican presidente, the Jewish Mexican presidente, by the way. You see the video of the Colombian guy also? The guy running for president of Colombia got shot in the head by some Marxists.
I heard about that. I didn't know anything about it, though. That's crazy.
Okay, here it is. Let's see this. I got to turn on the audio.
Because we do not want taxes on
remittances
from our
No, maybe it's not just dubbed. Hold on.
Because if necessary, we will mobilize because we do not want taxes on remittances from our compatriots in the United States to Mexico.
Nice.
That was outside of the LAPD yesterday.
Okay. I'm not sure this is the right video. Let's see if I can find a different one.
It's funny. I saw I recorded a talk that the former presidential candidate for the Party of Socialism and Liberation gave the other day for like a socialist group that she's helping to teach how to organize and stuff. And she said to the Mexican president, she said, "Oh, I've never been so proud for my name to be Claudia," because she's so enamored with the Jewish Mexican president.
Okay, so they were already a little mobilized for this. The Party for Socialism and Liberation was in LA Pride today, and they just had carried on the after party with the ICE protests, it seems like.
The Party for Socialism and Liberation organizes protests almost every single week and has for a very long time. And they're based out of New York City. They work with a couple organizations in New York. They also, if people are familiar with the YouTube channel Breakthrough News, they have over 1 million subscribers. They're directly linked to the Party for Socialism and Liberation. And this is actually one of those rare cases where it does actually seem like the Party of Socialism and Liberation is funded by the CCP, like legitimately. And so they actually have a ton of money to work with. They always have printed signs. They travel all over the country and do this stuff all the time. But
Russia
yeah,
too,
they're ready
right?
to go.
Russia and China, communists, they sponsor communist groups in the West
No,
to
they're
destabilize.
well, not so much. But in this specific case, I have seen enough of their financial records to know that there is some sort of connection between them. But yeah, they're pretty active.
So there was pride in LA too, apparently. Antifa,
Yep.
erase Zionist, fuck ICE.
Anytime you see them saying like dead cops, that's going to be Antifa, because they want one of their big things is police abolition and prison abolition.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a hard sell. They're not exactly helping their cause with this type of imagery and videos.
No, but their argument is, and I swear this is their actual argument, is that when we overthrow capitalism, all crime will be eliminated, so we won't need prisons anymore, so we can just let everyone out. I swear that's their argument.
Who could follow? Who could believe that? Yeah, once we have real communism, there won't be any more crime, and everybody will be rich and happy in a communist utopia.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is more like it. I expect to see this on every street. Like, why isn't this happening on the freeway? They're letting all their police cars get destroyed and burnt up. Where, like, you'd think, what is taking Trump so long, too? Like, wouldn't police be, like, when there's a fire somewhere, don't firefighters from all over the state, other states come in and try to get it handled? Like, you'd think there'd be police. Is there not enough police?
I almost think like Trump is being spiteful of Karen Bass and the Democrats and Gavin Newsom in California, and he's just not moving on it.
So he wants it to be bad, so he can point the finger and say, you're a failed state, this is your fault.
I think he feels more comfortable with that because I think he thinks that if he sends in the National Guard, there's going to be some sort of altercation that's going to make him look bad, right? And so he's like, no, F you guys. Like, you know, it's your monkeys, your circus. Congratulations.
Here's the clip of Gavin Newsom. He's like, come arrest me. He's trying to go tough guy mode. Come arrest me. Right? Here, let's play this real quick.
Come after. Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to get
these poor fucking people. He has to control his F-bombs. Hold on.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives.
Such a tough guy.
Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear.
Paying their taxes. They're not. If they're illegal citizens or illegal aliens, they're not paying taxes.
Probably not.
The horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me. Arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn.
He's being the tough guy. Arrest me.
He's very masculine. Stunning and brave. Stunning and brave, Gavin Newsom.
Stunning and brave.
Mm-hmm.
But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go. The perception is that.
Wow. Dude. So fake. Such a performer right there. These poor people. You're so mean picking on these poor people. Arrest me.
Did you see where Gavin Newsom compared the riots to like the Philadelphia Super Bowl celebration? Or his press office did? It's on my Twitter timeline somewhere. Yeah, it's on my Twitter timeline somewhere.
I hate when they do that too, though.
I do too, but
they go and riot after sports games. Protesters about to block the freeway.
Yep. There they go. These freeways are so dumbly designed. They were just asking for it, really. They've got a whole audience. They've got a whole galley. That's a lot of people, though.
I've never seen the freeway move so fast in LA right here. It's usually stopped everywhere. He's like, oh, my community. LA is a hellhole. Look at all the graffiti everywhere, too. This is what it looks like because of all these gangster Mexicans everywhere. This is what LA looks like everywhere.
I feel like there are a lot less homeless people than I remember seeing last time I was in LA.
Yeah, exactly. Where all these people protesting are probably homeless.
Probably so.
Look, tatted up head, Vato here. Hassan Piker was out there.
Oh gosh.
I'm surprised he doesn't get Cam Higbee. Have you retweeted some of his stuff? I can't believe he's out there. You wouldn't catch me anywhere. I do stick out kind of like a sore thumb though around these types. Oh, we got a super chat. Hold on.
Sweet.
Thank you, Great Goy Shiok. Did you hear that, Karlyn?
I didn't, but I can see it on the chat because I have the chat up.
Appreciate you, Goy Shiok. Oh, don't be looking at the chat, guys. Be nice to Karlyn. In the chat.
Trauma from the last time.
She's watching you guys, okay?
It's okay.
Be nice to my guests.
It's very chivalrous of you.
Yeah. White knighting.
Yeah. They're gonna give you hell for that later.
Okay. Antifa publishes their account of LA. They believe this may escalate into large. Yeah, it's the summer of love again. Trump gets back in. It's funny. The last 4 years, Antifa and BLM like disappears. Trump back in. First summer, boom, all hell breaks loose again.
Well, the thing is, they never really disappeared. They were all focused on free Palestine for since basically October 7th up until the election. It was actually it was so boring covering the left between October 7th and November 2024 because it was just all Palestine all the time. And so I think Antifa was always around. They were wearing the what is it, the Palestinian scarves or whatever, instead of all black.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those out here too.
Yep.
Kafia.
Look,
there's another one.
But you can always tell Antifa because usually they do dress mostly in black. Usually they'll sometimes wear helmets. They're usually the ones trying to just actually get the police to. They're trying to get the police to hit them or do something. So I saw some dumb clip where Trump was like, "If you spit at us, we're gonna hit you back." I was like, "Congratulations,
why do they do that?
Trump."
Why do they try to agitate the police?
Because they want the police to get violent with them so that they can get it on video. Because
and they can play victim and turn more people against the police.
100%. So if you look at the document that was in that Twitter thread that you were just looking at, it says over and over they're trying to convince people that the police are afraid of them. They're like, the police didn't know what to do with us. We overran the police. We did this. We did that. And so they're trying to basically provoke it. They have press people that have cameras that are just there to record stuff so they can get it and put it out on the internet and saying, look, they heard us. They heard us. We were being peaceful and they just punched us and we don't know what's happening. And blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
They did get some good video. Did you see they shot that one reporter woman?
I didn't see that. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'll find it. Let's see. Let me go to my bookmarks real quick.
So much content.
I know. Oh, I have so many bookmarks in the last few days of stuff I'm going to have to cover, which is why we're good. It's good we're getting all the Riot stuff out of here. I think she was from, oh, here it is. Australia.
LAPD moving in after hours of standing off. This situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Watch this guy right here.
Oh, good. Oh, no.
He lines her up, puts her in the and shoots her in the leg. What's that about? You're shooting the only white woman there. No, I'm just kidding. She's not the only white woman, but clearly, this is the last person you want to shoot. Maybe there was some Antifa goblin running up in front of her and he was trying to save her. I hope.
That's hilarious, though.
Through the heart of LA.
So good one, buddy.
Got caught
What's that
shooting a
about?
reporter on video.
Look at the top trending. Glendale's going off now. That's a different part of LA. Bring in the troops, send in the Marines, Nazi Germany.
Well, there you go. It's the woke right. It's the woke right's fault, Adam. The woke right ruined everything.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what we got at the top of Nazi Germany.
Did you see that they got Greta? The IDF has Greta.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of knew that was going to happen. At least nobody was harmed in that. Whoa.
Well, yet.
Right. Well, I'm sure it would be way too bad if they did something to her. It would look awful for them. Okay, there's nothing good here. Why is... Oh, wait. You want to see what CNN's saying? 55 seconds? Let's see this. There's the key term, authoritarianism. He's Hitler. It's Nazi Germany. This helps the Jewish narrative that America's 1930s Germany and they're all white Christian supremacist, Nazi fascist, right?
Yep, it does.
I think that you can't look at what's happening in California in a vacuum. This behavior by the President of the United States, this move towards authoritarianism, you have to look at it and the attacks on journalism, the attacks on law firms, the attacks on judges throughout the country, the attacks on higher education. None of these things are happening in a vacuum. And if you look at it in the totality, you see that we're drifting towards authoritarianism. Now, I find it a great bit ironic that there are people who are pro free speech and then have a problem with people who are protesting. No one around this panel.
Nobody has a problem with peaceful protesting. We saw the videos. It's not just protesting. CNN is such bullshit artists.
Oh, yeah. I think Cory Booker came out and called them peaceful protesters. And it's just like, I mean, it's like, bro, you're not going to get away with it anymore. We have the internet. We can see the video of what's happening. It's very, very clear. And I mean, I think, I think, Adam, like the Democratic Party is really dying on the left, to be honest. And like CNN is one of the last bastions of like the Democratic Party and that whole narrative. But the thing is like the actual leftist groups that are protesting, they're using the fecklessness of all of these people to recruit and radicalize more people to get them to go left. And so I actually think it's going to get worse because of CNN. Because like they're actually sending more people into the arms of the far left.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you think CNN's pushing them to the far left? I
think that the fecklessness of all of these people, like you got to understand, like a lot of people who voted for Kamala Harris, that they didn't do it because they loved the Democratic Party. They did it because it wasn't Trump, right? Well, now they've watched the Democratic Party fail. They've watched the continued fecklessness of their influencers and the people. I mean, you even look at their ratings. Their ratings are pretty much dead. That's them and MSNBC. No one's watching them anymore. And so where are all these people going that used to patronize stuff like this? They're not going to the right. They're going to the left.
Which would be like where? Hassan Piker? Like who Destiny? Like who's the popular influencer communist?
There are actually a lot of groups out there right now on the left, either like further left progressive groups like Code Pink, or like you get the Democratic Socialists of America. They're actually out there organizing right now. They're having meetings. They're having information sessions. Party for Socialism and Liberation does these little information sessions for like Democrat and liberal voters to try to be like, hey, do you think the Democrats suck? We kind of think the Democrats suck too. Can we come and talk about how much the Democrats suck together? And so these groups are actually out there and they're reaching people in the real world, and they're not going through social media. So they're not talking to like Hassan Piker or any of these people, or Destiny. They don't even know who these people are.
They're
just
not
going
permanently
into their
online. That's interesting. They're in the real world. It's not like influencer figureheads that they're always on the internet. It's like underground groups that are really like mobilizing and active and doing stuff in the real world. And that's why they're able to pull this shit together.
That's exactly right. They don't recruit on the internet. They use it to coordinate, but they recruit in the real world.
At bookstores, right? I think I learned that from you last time. Bookstores are their hubs, little communist bookstores.
Yeah. If you
And
look up
coffee shops, Starbucks.
Well, actually, unironically, yes, all of the Starbucks protesters are far left revolutionaries. And so they recruit in unions. Actually, the unions are extremely socialist. The unions have been highly active in the pro-Palestine protesters, like the United Auto Workers has. People don't know this. Like the United Auto Workers has sections within them for specifically graduate students and faculty at universities. And so that's how they're organizing a lot of it. So yeah, they don't do the online stuff.
Interesting contrast. And it seems to be more effective in a lot of ways. Okay, let's finish this clip. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, you know, you're right. It is 100% more effective.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A problem with people who are protesting. No one around this panel, no Democrat in the country, I will not sit here and say that violence is okay or violence against law enforcement is okay. But what's rich?
You'll just pretend that it's not happening, and you'll lie and not cover that it's happening.
When you have people like Ron Johnson or Senator Mullen come on TV and talk about protecting law enforcement, but didn't say a doggone thing when we were pardoning those individuals on January 6th who were law enforcement officers. So let's have a little balance in this discussion is all I ask. I think that you can't look at what's happening.
He pulled the January 6th card, huh? They're never going to live. They're going to justify all the rioting all summer because of January 6th and because he pardoned everybody. So that's the angle. They're really going to use that.
I think people have to accept that they're going to riot either way.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of, I'm getting the echo again. The echo's back, Adam.
Right. Sorry. I can fix this, actually.
Okay. Oh, it's okay. So I think people just have to accept that, like, the far left is always going to find an excuse to riot. There is never going to be a time, like, if Trump hadn't pardoned the January 6th people, it would be something else. If it wasn't that, it would be another thing. And so it's like, the goal of the left is to provoke violent insurrection. They're going to use whatever excuse they can.
Did you see the naked Mexican girl out on the freeway?
No.
Oh, yeah. She went out there naked. And she had a big sign that says, "Let's do ayahuasca."
Oh, come on. That is a horrible advertisement for ayahuasca.
She's out there just trying to sign people up for her ayahuasca retreats or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you seen this guy before? This guy's a real head case. He's like a TikTok leftist. I think Jewish too. Dabrowski.
No. What's his deal?
Latinas for Trump founder denounces Trump over ICE raids. Latinas for Trump? Uh-oh. Trump has lost Latinas for Trump.
No. It's over.
Okay, let's see this. This guy is so disgusting and revolting. I've seen his videos before.
Donald Trump over the founder of Latinas for Trump just denounced Donald Trump over the ICE raids that are currently taking place in Los Angeles. Here is what Leanne Garcia, the founder of the group, just said in response to the LA raids. Quote, "I am deeply disappointed by these actions. This is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane." So let's rewind to what she said there about not.
Okay, I thought they were going to show her. I can't see him anymore. His messed up teeth. Do you have an echo right now?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay, let's go back to your timeline instead of. Okay, what did Trump say? A once great American city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Now violent insurrectionist mobs are swarming and attacking our federal agents to try and stop our deportation operations. But these lawless riots only strengthen our resolve. I am directing Kristi Noem, Homeland Security, Pete Hegseth, a bunch of Zionists, Pam Bondi, and all relevant departments and agencies take all such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion. Please liberate us, Trump. Save us. And put an end to these migrant riots. It's not even really migrant riots, though. It really is a lot of Antifa. Where's the Antifa mention here?
This is my problem, Adam. It's the same thing with Trump deporting those college protesters. It's like the college protesters are radical revolutionary socialists. They're parts of groups that want to overthrow the government. Like, deport them for being communists. Like, why can't we just deport? It's literally against the law to be a member of these organizations in this country. But no, we have to talk about anti-Semitism.
Thank you, Cook. Cook says you're based. I bet that's one of your guys.
Oh yeah, I couldn't
first time here. No, maybe not. He wouldn't say you're based if he already knew you.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I gotta bring up the power chat actually, though. But yeah, this is Karlyn's shtick. This is her. She lives for this.
I do. I live and breathe socialism all the time. Forever, for the rest of my life.
That sounds sad. You're not infiltrating, right?
I'm infiltrating. No,
Infiltrating the right.
I'm infiltrating the right. I'm a secret leftist. I mean, it's so funny. I
You're
have
infiltrating the right by pretending to infiltrate the left.
Well, I
chess.
unironically, I have people on the right accuse me of that like all the time. They're like, the reason you're showing leftist content is to convince all of us to be leftist. I'm like, I literally rip it apart for 4 hours on a live stream. Like, what do you want?
Do they say you really believe you're actually really a secret communist and you believe all of them? They say that?
They do. Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
That's what they say about me. You believe the rabbis. It's like, I'm exposing the rabbis. You believe the Bible. I don't. You believe Rabbi Jesus. I don't.
The struggle is real when you do stuff like this. You're going to have just a lot of retards that don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, the schizophrenia is real online.
Yeah.
Order will be restored. The illegals will be expelled and Los Angeles will be set free. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I feel so much better now. Thank you, Trump.
No, Trump is not going to save us. Trump is probably going to end up making the situation worse.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't ban people from wearing masks at protests. I hope people understand that, right? Trump making a big deal about like, I'm going to ban masks at protests. Like, good luck, I guess.
Why not?
Well, I mean, first it's a free speech issue. Like it's still to this day is not fully litigated in the courts, but it's also like, how are you going to enforce that? Like, Adam, they're throwing rocks and Molotov cocktails at police cars and they're still not getting arrested. And you want people to enforce the not wearing a mask? Like, how are you going to do that?
Yeah, there wouldn't be enough room in all the jails in LA. They're already full, right?
Right.
So where are they going to put all these people?
That's their problem to figure out, I guess.
They had a picture of Elon. Did you see that? Elon doing his salute. There's only one immigrant taking American jobs away. It's a stupid, but it's a funny sign. Very professionally made too. What'd you think of Elon saying Trump's in the Epstein files, by the way? And he deleted it. And now, was he on a ketamine bender? Is that what that was?
I don't know, man, but that was crazy. That was so hilarious. That was like, it had the same energy of the day that Kanye West and Nick Fuentes were on Alex Jones. And like, it was like the whole world stopped just to watch that colossal train wreck. And I feel like the same thing happened with Trump and Elon's like online beef where you were watching the ping pong ball go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And they both are dumb and don't know what's going on. So I'm not on either side. I think it's just funny.
They asked Trump about it and he said no comment.
He was seething though.
Yeah. Elon's gonna. Yeah, I have to go. What is that? No one is illegal on stolen lands, says the white girl.
Yep.
With the sign.
Because she's a far leftist.
So we can't have borders because reasons 500 years ago. Chinga la migra. Okay. You're retweeting these people, huh? 100,000 for the socialist group.
Yeah. Their YouTube channel has over 1 million subscribers. It's legit. Wow. They produced a documentary with Macklemore.
Oh, he's so shit. People celebrating that he is like standing up for Palestine. He blames in those songs, like white supremacy. He says it's white supremacy. It's like, call out Jews, you pussy.
Do you know what white supremacy is a code word for, Adam?
White people. No, I know you're going to say capitalism.
Capitalism.
It's white people.
It's nope.
Doesn't have to be a code word. Oh shoot. Sorry.
Do you know where the term whiteness comes from? I learned this from the Denver Communists. Actually, they did a whole presentation about it. So after slaves were brought to America, they started calling the people who were managing the slaves the people who didn't have to work in the sun. They were the white people. It was the bosses. And then the black people were the owned property. That's where that term comes from. It's not about skin color. It's about who is a boss and who is the worker.
That's why they call Jews white all the time too, right? Ugh.
No, Jews are capitalist to them. This is why they don't like Israel.
They call Jews white. And that's why they call Israel white supremacy.
Yeah, that is actually correct. Yeah, Israel are the settler colonists.
Man, look at these crowds. Would you go out into a crowd like this? Are you thinking about going?
No, I've kind of I've thought about it. There was a tinge of me. I was like, maybe I should fly to LA this week and just go. But also, I don't know. Like the there are a lot of far leftists who know who I am, and I would be kind of afraid.
Yeah, you're on their hit list. They've got
Oh,
hits out on you
they don't have hits
for
out on me,
watching
but
their videos.
they know. Well, they 100% know who I am because they like talk about me and stuff, and they
Mhm.
complain about me all the time. And I just don't want to be caught out in this situation by myself.
Do you ever debate these people? Or
I've tried
they
to.
don't seem like big debaters to me.
I've had some communists on my channel. I had Noah from Midwestern Marks on my channel, and he and I actually had a really nice conversation. He kind of runs around with the American Communist Party, which I don't think is a real leftist thing. So whatever. I have had leaders from the Revolutionary Communists of America on my channel, and they thought that they were walking into just like they thought that they were going to basically out debate me, and then they realized I knew their ideology better than they did, and so that didn't work out well for them, and they got pissed off at me after that. So.
You retweeted awesome Jew here. Jews jumping in to make it all about them. Always. If these other were anti-Israel, they'd be allowed to rage for months unchecked. No. And National Guard would be nowhere in sight. Well, they're probably gonna go on. What's your prediction? Is this gonna get crushed? Or is it going to go on, and any pushback that Trump does is just going to mobilize them more, and then it's going to spread from all over the country? We're going to have a whole...
I think the only thing that can stop this is if Trump goes in with like overwhelming force, like I said, like I like getting busloads of illegal immigrants like every single day. Like I want videos of these buses. I want the National Guard posted everywhere. I want them, guarding the ICE raids to make sure they're not attacked. I want the police brought out like as full force as you can. Like all of these people have to be arrested and put in jail. Anything other than that, this is only going to escalate. Because all these people want violent conflict. That's what they want. That is what the goal is. These are the Revolutionary Communists of America. So they aren't involved in organizing. They just kind of show up to recruit at places. They're going to be out in Philadelphia.
Hammer and sickle communist flags there.
Yep.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Real live communists.
America is in big trouble.
Yeah, we're pretty effed, honestly.
Like we got Zionist influence, like I focus on all the time. We got communist revolutionaries all over the country. We've got on the verge of World War III with Iran, Russia, China.
There's not a small part of me that like the left is pretty honed in on being anti-Zionist. And there's not a small part of me that wishes that maybe just some sort of like single issue alliance could be built where we're like, hey guys, we're against Israeli power and influence. You're against Israeli power and influence. Can we just like work together just on this one thing? And then we can go back to fighting each other after it.
Mm-hmm. Super base ChatGPT shirt design available at Karlyn's website.com.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I have the balls to sell this shirt. I was like, all I did was put it into ChatGPT. Can you make me a mass deportations now t-shirt design? And this came up. I was like,
settle down, ChatGPT.
Like, what have I been putting in my ChatGPT? What do you guys like to know?
ChatGPT won't let me do anything, and it spits that out for you. It's amazing. Magic. Okay, let's see here. I think I have some stuff too I wanted to go over, and we don't have to go all night. I know it is. You're a few hours ahead of me. Here is let's see this one. Oops, not that. I think this is a fake AI video of Trump because he hasn't made an official statement. So we'll see though for the comedy. We could have a little comedy relief. Trump's statement addresses the nation in the riots. Let's hear it.
My fellow Americans, it is with overwhelming enthusiasm that I am declaring that anyone who protests or interferes with ICE and their operations is officially gay, big time. With that being said, go ahead and call your dads, tell them about your alternative lifestyle as a gay communist, and then who knows, maybe eat a lollipop. I don't know what flamers do with their time, but I'd imagine it's something along those lines. Maybe decorate a bathroom, who knows? In either case, this is who you are now, and everybody knows that cat's out of the bag. Cat is out of the bag. My fellow Americans, it is.
Have you been seeing the AI videos explode now? They're doing like, I saw a bunch today of like Moses in the Exodus is live blogging, and there was one with Bigfoot blogging. Have you been seeing all those on the timeline? Like, I don't know if there's a new program out or something, but the AI videos are exploding.
Yeah, I think it's Google's new AI thing. Their new AI video generator is just like next level. And I was thinking about signing up and playing it, playing with it, because I've been writing these fiction satires about communism lately, and I'm like, man, I could make my book into a movie. I just wrote a book called Alice in Queerland, which is basically like a kind of like anti-communist DEI take on Alice in Wonderland. And I'm like, I really want to make this into a movie. Like, I want to see this. So I think it's great. I love AI. AI is the best.
It is a very, very powerful tool. You just had a new book come out, a new cartoon book.
Yeah, so I wrote it was based on a short story I wrote earlier this year, and I actually used AI to help me concept it, honestly. And I basically took Alice in Wonderland and I made Alice, basically what happened is Alice got up in the middle of her middle school class and asked, "What is a woman?" and then got put into the DEI rabbit hole of having to go through all this crazy stuff and gets sucked into Wonderland and has to go through a never-ending gender training and a struggle session with TikTok influencers and has to go to the academic mob Mad Hatter Tea Party, and then almost gets her head cut off by the drag queen of hearts and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's like a fun little project, but
I'm sure the local library is going to love that one. They'll put it on the stand right next to all the pride and communist books and anti-white books.
I actually have another book too. Check this out. I love this book because it has a murder child on the front of it. But I took the Communist Manifesto and I wrote a dystopian fairy tale out of it. And it's got I just like my murder child. I don't know. It's my favorite.
Is that like a thing?
The murder child? It is in the book.
You made up.
It is in the book. Because this is basically so the first this is a 5-part book. The first 3 parts are based entirely on the Communist Manifesto of what happens when they get their communist revolution. The last 2 parts, and this is where the murder children come in, is what happens after the communist revolution. And, there might be children that are murdering people. I'm just saying.
There's a 3-minute clip here of Fuentes talking about Palantir and this chaos that's been unfolding the last few days. I had it saved. You want to watch it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hear his take on some of this.
Sure.
The Palantir take. He's probably going to bring up Laura Loomer, suggesting Palantir is needed to stop all of these rioters.
The borders are open. Illegal immigrants are everywhere. Everyone's smoking pot. Crime is out of control. And then if you try to enforce the laws, the scumbags are going to blow up the city. We really do need a Julius Caesar to bring back order. And you know what? These left-wing pieces of shit, they all talk about Palantir. They're going to make Palantir a reality. All Palantir needs, it is a dialectic, as Alex Jones says. It is very obviously a dialectic. The more disorder there is from the far right and the far left, the more you're going to get people begging for Palantir, begging for a mass database of every American. The more you're going to get people begging for drones and cameras and law enforcement everywhere. So these dummies are going to ruin it for everybody. But, this is really all part of the plan. I mean, you're seeing it unfold in real time, which is the elites have let in all these people from around the world. They have set up a battle in our country between white and black, right and left, through diversity, because diversity in itself breeds conflict. And that is going to create the crisis, which allows them to come in.
It does seem like this was all planned out. Like they knew that this wasn't going to work out. To bring in a bunch of foreigners, turn them against the native population. They couldn't have been like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. They had to know. Don't you think?
Yeah, they absolutely knew. Yeah, 100%.
And create a police state. And it's not going to be run by white nationalists. If you think that's based, it's going to be run by liberal Jews. If you think the police state is going to come in and shut down ICE protests and, arrest Antifa, and this is going to be led by Bronze Age pervert and the Nazis, you're wrong. It's not going to be led by Catholic integralists and far right. No. The left is wrong on this. The right is wrong on this. Who owns Palantir? Joe Lonsdale, Peter Thiel, Alex Karp. It's gonna be neoliberal.
Jeffrey Epstein, did you see that? Epstein invested $40 million.
I did, but he definitely didn't kill himself, Adam.
No,
Kash Patel swears.
Kash Patel said so. Yeah, and Bongino said so. And I trust him. Trust
Definitely.
Sessions.
Trust people that work for the government.
Yeah. I've actually I saw today people were posting like before and afters of Kash Patel. I'll see if I can find one of those. Maybe it's outrageous, the back and forth. And Peter Thiel was on Joe Rogan saying like, oh, I looked into it and Epstein wasn't working for Mossad. And he doesn't say anything about Epstein 40 million investment into Palantir and that he's still paying out Epstein. I saw 170 million is what he's made on that.
Wow. Everything is fake and gay. Everything.
Yep. Burn it all down. Burn them all. Arrest them all.
Liberal technocrats. It's going to be cosmopolitan, transhumanist, neoliberal technocrats, many of them Jewish, many of them atheist. That's who's going to be.
Many of them Catholics. Many of them kosher, Marxist, communist Catholics. All these Mexicans out here rioting in LA are probably Catholic, Nick. You realize that. How many cross necklaces and cross tattoos you think are out on the streets? Not all of them, obviously, because some of them are Marxist and communist and probably not religious. But the Mexicans, for sure, are Catholic.
Be running it. So, the left says, oh, these guys are Nazis. No. The right says they're going to be Nazis. No. It's going to be people like Emmanuel Macron. It's going to be people like J.D. Vance. It's going to be complete political puppets that have been groomed in private equity and venture capital their entire lives. They worked at Goldman Sachs. They worked at, Illuminati Incorporated. It's going to be these complete skin suit.
Illuminati Incorporated. I want to apply there. Do they have good benefits at Illuminati Incorporated? That sounds like a good career move.
It's better than talking about a Jewish power on the internet.
Anything beats that.
Fakeoid faggots, for lack of a better word, not necessarily gay, but they'll be faggots.
Beep.
And these are the people that are going to be the face of the New World Order. And it's not going to be right wing, left wing. It's not going to be populist. It's going to be technocratic, and nobody's going to be happy with it. So,
the globalist New World Order, Karlyn. The Illuminati Inc. New World Order. He didn't even say anything about the riots. I don't even know if that was about the riots, really.
No, it wasn't about the riots at all.
Okay. You want to see Tim Dillon talking about? Did you see this viral video going around today too?
No.
Let's watch a few more clips with me. Okay. You can't go to bed yet.
I go to bed at like 3. I go to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m. my time, so I still got at least 2 hours in me.
Okay. All right. Me too. I took a caffeine gum.
There you go.
All right. Tim Dillon says he's been invited to Peter Thiel's house for gay sex because he's gay. Yeah, it's not. He didn't invite you to have you shill Palantir. He just wants some of Tim Dillon's booty.
If you have not one reservation about what's going on over there, I'm not saying you have to feel one way or another way, but if you don't have any if you have no reservations about what's happening with all these kids getting killed, I don't know, I can't trust you. If you don't have any reservations about Palantir taking everyone's information, I don't know. I don't know if I can trust you. I think they're buying people left and right. This is my guess. They try to buy me. My pussy costs a lot of money. I get invited to these dinners. I don't go. I've been invited to Thiel's house multiple times for dinner. I don't go. It's no shade at that.
I bet Joe Rogan does. Seems like Joe Rogan goes.
Real, though.
Yeah. He's throwing shade at Joe Rogan right there. You went to the meetings.
Oh, I've been invited to Thiel's house multiple times for dinner. I don't go. It's no shade at them or whatever, The reason I don't go is I remember one dinner, they're like, we'd like to discuss the media. I go, what? No, thanks. We'd like to discuss dinner. We'd discuss the media and culture. No, thanks. Appreciate it. That's fine. Don't need a. Here's what I'm doing every week. I'm discussing the media. Hey, good news. I have a show. You can listen to it. You can listen to it if you're curious about. But I've been to some of these places. I've sat in these houses in Austin with these tech people, and I know what they want, and I know what they want me to go out and cheerlead for and say, well, it's actually a great idea, and there's probably a lot of money in it. There's probably a lot of money, and I just can't do it. It's not because I'm some great moral I wouldn't be good at it. I'd be terrible at coming on here going, well, the good thing about the list. Well, no, if you actually think about the list this way, all my people that listen every week go, the fuck?
Like Alex Jones, I covered earlier this week, Alex Jones. Nick was on talking about JD Vance and Peter Thiel and Palantir, and Alex is like, oh, well, it's the left that cares about Palantir, and they're just a small company, and they're actually the good guys that like trying to take back for America, and they're with Trump. And then he got a lot of blowback, so he did like a damage control video a couple days after that. And another talking point about the Palantir databases, so they've already got the databases. Who cares? They already got us on lists and databases, so that's the other cope.
Literally everyone with any sort of platform is fake. I can't. It's the most annoying, depressing thing in the world.
I know. I agree. Besides my platform, which is not big.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, you're famous. You're famous in your realm.
You called me famous the other day. Yeah, I was.
You are famous in your area. You are.
That made my week.
Aw.
You're like, you're famous in this niche, obscure, irrelevant sector of the internet. Thanks, Karlyn. You really know how to flatter me.
What the fuck happened to him? So my prediction, and I don't want to name names because I don't know, but my prediction is you're going to see a lot of people over the next 6 months start thinking this list's a great idea. They're going to start telling you how great this is and how it's about terrorism. That's that'll start going, well, it's a terror. Have you heard? It's terrorism going to.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
this is going to happen.
And Laura Loomer had a big viral tweet saying, Palantir, hey, guy, come on, everybody. Palantir needs to go and put all these rioters on a list already. Yeah. Like clockwork. Say,
Laura Loomer. There she is.
Yeah. Here's my crazy friend, Matt Baker. He's apparently gone up to LA and I think he took this video, is in a ICE vehicle during the riots.
No kidding.
Yeah, I hate this. I have to like stop presenting and then re-present every time.
Yeah, it's a flaw. You can get the tab to switch. You can just like switch the share tab.
Oh, really? You have
it open that way. Yeah. It doesn't work all the time, but it works like 50%.
As long as they're all like on the same browser thing, you can switch it.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here. Inside. Oh shit. Gas mask inside the van.
How is he getting in the van?
How is he driving with that thing on?
Yeah, real. He should not be wearing that driving.
Dude, looks like sounds like a war zone. Matt, are you in the van? Wow. Dude, they need it like the cartels. Rocks. They need like a guy with a gun on the top.
This is what I mean. Overwhelming force. Overwhelming force.
Mm-hmm. This shouldn't be allowed. We can't have our cops running around scared that they're gonna. The cartels can't have better defenses than our police.
I don't know, man. They've got pallets of rocks.
Pallets of, oh yeah. Every time there's a protest, there's like the George Soros pallets showed up, right?
Yeah, well, there are so Antifa was actually taking hammers and they were like beating these cement things on the side of the road to create things that they could throw and stuff like that. But I did actually see videos. There was actually a pallet of rocks that was right near one of the protests, and it was like it was weird. It was like in an alley or something. I was like, okay, well.
Okay, I mentioned it, and I just happened to find the Cash Patel thing. So let me share that too. The before and after Cash Patel.
Cool.
Pre-deep state.
You don't think... Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but release the names, right?
And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this. Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on? Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think you're a liar. Yeah.
To be honest, totally. Okay, how do I switch tab? Oh, share this tab instead. Okay.
See?
Boom.
Magic.
Thank you. Just had to open my eyes a little bit.
It's all good.
LA
yeah,
City
she's in the DSA.
What's that?
The Democratic Socialists of America.
Oh my gosh. And of course she got elected. They're good at getting their people elected too, huh? To city councils and local office and stuff.
Actually, yeah, they do a good job of it. More than you would think. They're not the furthest left group though, but they do get people elected.
Because community defense, they know how quickly we mobilize. That's why they're changing tactics. Because community defense works and our resistance has slowed them down before. And if they're escalating their tactics, then so are we. When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger. They know how quickly we mobilize. That's why they're changing tactics.
Everybody's sharing this. I don't think she didn't say anything too outrageous. She's playing it safe here. 36,000 likes from libs of TikTok.
Yeah.
Don't like seeing it. Let's see what else we can find here. Oh, here's another one. 60,000 likes on this dude. Share this tab instead. Bing, bang, boom. Let's go. You seen this guy? He just got off his shift at Denny's, it looks like.
I'm sure. Go tell your mama how you proud. Rallying people and taking.
Oh, look. I told you there's Catholics out there. Oh,
yeah. Oh my
God. Down bad.
Oh,
Pre-spotted.
no. It's over. No.
Told you, Catholic bros. The Pope just today, there's headlines everywhere. The Pope says, like, we need open borders and to erase nationalities and stuff. Total kosher. Kosher Pope. Woke Pope. Ready for your copes on the Pope.
I like the Pope, too. I still like him. I'm not going to dislike him. You can't dislike him. He likes basketball and things like that. I don't know. He's like, it's a fun Pope.
Chat says she mobilized outside of Taco Bell during lunchtime. Yeah, I don't think she's mobilizing fast anywhere, that a city council woman. Yeah, she's like, we quickly mobilize. Okay.
Yeah, she's not moving fast. She's got the scooter though.
I'm so vindicated on saying the Catholics are out there.
Go tell your mama how you proud of rallying people and taking them in. What crime did they make? What crime did they commit? Nothing.
They entered the country illegally. That's the crime. We can't play a game. I mean, it's a little insensitive. I get it, but we can't play the game and signal to the whole world that, well, it's illegal to come in, but if you do it and get in, then you're allowed to stay. We can't do that.
Yeah. Kick them out. They need to go. I'm so sick of this. Like Adam, I live in New Hampshire. It is very white here. And even I am sick of hearing people speak Spanish. I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear people speak Spanish. I don't want to hear people with an Indian accent unless they're serving me like a delicious Indian food dish of some sort. I don't want to hear it. I want them to go away.
New Hampshire. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm basically in Mexico.
Yeah, I know. You hear Spanish a lot more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're proud, bitch. Oh, these motherfuckers are KKK.
What do you say? You're with the KKK? He's telling his Mexican friend, you're with the KKK. Okay, bro.
I'm sure you're proud, bitch.
Well, do you know what they chant though?
What?
Do you know what they chant at protests? Okay, so this is LA, so it would be LAPD, KKK, IDF. It's all the same. Because the IDF trains the police, the different police across the country.
That is true.
Yeah. And so when they're chanting, leftists say, so if like I watch mostly like protests out of New York City, and they would say NYPD, KKK, IDF, it's all the same over and over and over again.
Well, I wouldn't say it's all the same, but I can't say that I'm mad about them at least talking shit about the IDF.
Oh yeah, they hate
Better than
the
not.
IDF.
Better than not.
Look at that. This is Brian, you motherfucker. So proud of standing so tall.
Chat wants English guys making Indian food for him.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You know, tikka masala was made in England, not in India.
Well, that makes sense. What about butter chicken? No, butter chicken is the best Indian dish.
Butter is white people.
Fair point.
I do like Indian food. It always makes me feel sick.
So good though.
I'll go to like the Indian buffet and then won't be able to eat the rest of the day.
I
lay around.
I worked in Boston for a while, and right outside the office I worked in, there was this little pop-up Indian place every day. This like old Indian lady came and just you could eat whatever she decided to make that day, and it was like the best ever.
Mm-hmm. But like, would I go to India and eat street food? That's
No.
the grossest thing I've ever seen.
No, no, never doing that.
This is what I'm talking about. We need to get some more.
Right.
I thought we already had. I thought we had militaries and police like 20 years ago. It's Alex Jones, the police state 5, militarizing the police. And had all this shit, and I'm like, why are all the cop cars getting blown up? Where was that on the freeway?
Yeah, it was on the highway. Molotov cocktail.
Okay. All right. Guys, you got any power chats for us? Anything you want to add? Anything we're missing? I feel like we basically got it all covered, everything that I've seen so far.
Yep.
Where do you think
bad.
this is? Is this going to carry on tomorrow as well? I don't see it stopping.
I don't know if it's going to carry on at this level, but there's definitely going to be something that happens this weekend. Because like I said, there was already a nationwide event planned with well over 1,000 events called the No Kings protest. And so I think that this is going to piggyback onto the No Kings protest. And we're going to see a lot more violence and a lot more nonsense, because the No Kings protest actually has a massive organizing network nationwide. And so they were the ones that had so many people out in the streets protesting last month for May Day, like in the middle of the week. So we'll see.
Did you see the Colombian get assassinated?
No, I heard he got shot in the head.
Yeah, that's the other one. We can cover that. That applies because they're saying he was a right winger and he was going to come in like the El Salvadorian guy and like, arrest all the gangsters and stuff. So they couldn't have that. And I saw some stats. Remember like the Mexican election? Like there was like 50 candidates that got assassinated.
I didn't know it was that high. Wow.
Yeah. And they're saying like it's like hundreds in Colombia over the years assassinating. Like being I I remember seeing one in Mexico too, where there was a guy running for mayor and they chopped off his head and like put it on the car or something. Man, why would we not want to open our borders up to all these people when they're just, assassinating every political candidate? Running for office in Latin America is like the most dangerous profession there is, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Right when it happens and the gun goes off, the camera goes down and they all start running, but you can see they claimed he was in critical condition. He's dead. His head got blown.
Segundo, salud mental. El principal problema en Bogotá, en Colombia.
Whoa.
So you can see the first one nails. Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
Hair go up.
Yeah. There's.
Boom. I'm surprised.
Wow.
Like blood and brains didn't go everywhere.
I know, that's what I was expecting.
I know, that would have been gnarly. Of course, we're gonna go. Yeah. We're gonna slow it down. Zoom and okay. Very sad.
No.
And he's dead.
We're gonna see more violence like this. Like the left is on this whole. Okay, so on the left, revolutionary suicide is actually a thing, and so it's like a martyrdom complex. And so we just saw the DC shooter that shot those two like Israelis or whatever. He referenced specifically Aaron Bushnell in his manifesto. Aaron Bushnell is the guy that set himself on fire. And so I think the left is going to get increasingly violent. They achieve like a martyrdom like status when they do it. And so
yeah, wasn't there just a leftist violence thing recently? What was it? They had the shooting at the museum, and then what was the other one? It just happened the other day. After that, I can't believe I'm brain farting on this, guys. There was like a terrorist attack. Oh, the guy, the Muslim guy, went to the Boulder and threw the Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. That woman that they said was a Holocaust survivor wasn't actually ever in the Holocaust. And she basically got brought to the Dominican Republic when she was 2 years old to live in an island paradise.
Yeah. They always do that. We're all survivors of every war that ever happened, if you're gonna, categorize it like that, right?
Yep, I'm a 9/11 survivor because I was in Boston on 9/11.
I survived. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs? I'm a survivor of that, actually. We all are.
Totally.
Right. I saw big accounts after you posted that. I saw some big accounts like pushing the same thing and ripping you off.
Every time. It is like clockwork. Like you guys, you just use AI. It's not really that hard. Come on.
All right.
Whatever. What can you do?
Okay, we're gonna wrap. I think I want to end it on a palate cleanser to uplift everybody, so we don't have nightmares of riots and politicians' heads being blown off. So this is the cutest little thing, a little Viking boy, the three-eyed raven, Odin's chosen one. This is a little boy that's best friends with a little crow.
Oh, I know. I've seen this video. This is funny.
Okay, good. It's not funny. It's heartwarming.
It's adorable and cute and beautiful.
Here we go. Get ready for this. This was me as a child.
You had a pet crow.
The chosen one.
They could spend hours just playing.
I want a pet
Russell
crow.
is a wild bird. He's not around all the time, but when Otto is outside, he will never leave Otto's side. When we go inside, he will sit outside the window because he wants Otto to go outside with him. When I pick up Otto from kindergarten, Russell will sit on our roof and make sure that Otto is home. Even though Russell and Otto are really great friends, I never leave them unsupervised. Russell would only allow Otto to pet him. Whenever I tried, he would leave. They have a special bond.
Isn't that so sweet, guys? Did that not just touch your heart?
Did you ever see the video? It's an older video of the dog that was best friends with the elephant.
I don't recall that one, no.
it was at an elephant sanctuary, and this dog was like best friends with this elephant, and they went everywhere together and they played together, and the dog would like roll on her back and the elephant would like touch her belly with like with her giant like foot. And then the dog got sick, and the elephant, they had to take the dog into like the infirmary, and the elephant stood outside the infirmary every day for a week until the dog could come out and be with her again. It was beautiful.
Gotta love animals. Birds are so smart too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, chat.
have a-
Go ahead.
You have a bird to do your bidding, like go deliver notes and
Mhm,
poke at people's eyes that you don't like and stuff like
Send
that.
the raven, like Game of Thrones.
Totally.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll like try to think I'm Neo in the Matrix, and I'll like put my hand up to a crow, and like I'll try to talk to the crow and be like, "Come, land on my hand."
Why not?
Never happens. Never works out for me, but
You just got to manifest
yeah.
it. Just got to work on it.
I did see a coyote the other day though. Spotted him, and then you liked how I skinned him and put him on my head.
I did. I thought it was
That
great.
video? Yeah. It's a good look.
Cool.
All right, Karlyn.
Thanks for having me on,
Thanks for
Adam.
having me do
Appreciate
this.
it. Yeah, it was fun.
You
Fun
read my
time.
mind.
Thank you guys for being nice to me in the chat this time.
Yeah, besides one person over in Odysee is trying to say that you're a beaner.
What does
Karlyn
that even
Brown
mean?
to be on the show. She should be deported.
I should be deported. That seems a bit harsh.
Karlyn's white. You are looking a little
Very
tan
white.
or something though, maybe.
I
The
don't
sun
know.
out there strong in New Hampshire these days?
It is actually really hot in New
Mhm.
Hampshire. I don't know. I went outside yesterday to go to a beer festival, so that was pretty great. I went to a festival at the Budweiser facility where they keep the Clydesdales, where they had like basically unlimited beer samples and unlimited samples of snacks with bacon in it. So it's pretty great.
And horses.
And
Snacks
horses.
with bacon. Okay, you
Clydesdale.
guys heard that,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
She's not kosher, guys.
I ate bacon on a stick yesterday. I will have you know. Not kosher at all.
That is wonderful.
It's a beautiful thing.
I had bacon today too. Trust us, guys.
Hmm
We're not lying. We eat bacon.
Totally.
All right. Tell everybody where they can find you and about your books. Anything you want to plug before we wrap?
Yeah, you guys can find me. Obviously over on Substack. I'm karlyn.substack.com. I stream Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. on YouTube and Rumble and on X, where we basically watch socialist content. We are doing Queer Marxism Month on my channel, so we are listening to some of the most dystopian queer content that you've ever heard in your life. It is pretty crazy. I don't do any of the clickbait stuff like Libs of TikTok. I actually show you the real stuff. So just like Adam shows you the real stuff with the rabbis and all that, I do that with the far left. So come hang out, see some stuff. It's fun.
Watch some blue-haired psychos that want to conquer the world for their communist revolution.
Definitely.
All right. I don't think this story is going to be done. I think it's going to go on for weeks, if not months, just like BLM and Summer of Love, as they call it, right? So we'll maybe have to do a follow-up on one of these, because I don't keep up with the communist world at all. Sounds like torture. A lot of people think like, oh my God, watching rabbis all the time and talking about what rabbis believe, that sounds like torture. That's kind of how communists sound to me. But it is important because they're out there and they do have a lot of influence and power, and look at what they're doing in the streets right now.
Yeah. Yep. It's real. The struggle is real, but whatever. It's an obsession, right? It's a calling. As we talked about
Why are you
before.
so obsessed with it?
I don't know. I've just always loved dystopian things. Like, I mean, from the time I was young, I was always reading like dystopian books and stuff like that. And then,
What's your favorite dystopian book?
Oh, I mean, like 1984, probably the classic. But I mean, even just like newer stuff, even just like the Hunger Games and stuff like that. I love that stuff. And so when I realized that I kind of like, when you get into the real far left, when you go past the clickbait, it is actually, they're creating a dystopian reality. They actually use the language out of Brave New World. They use the language out of 1984. I've heard them say, unironically on streams, there's truth and there is untruth. They call things like the nuclear family the Fordist nuclear family, just like in Brave New World. And it's just like, there's this real life dystopia happening all around us right now, and no one knows about it and no one's paying attention to it. And it's just like, I get to see the things I like in real life, even though it is kind of terrifying. And it just becomes an obsession, like it does with you and the rabbis. I couldn't watch the rabbis. I could not do that, but I understand the obsession with it, you know?
Yeah. Totally. All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Happy
thanks
to
for having
do
me.
it.
Cool.
And
Cool.
thanks everybody for watching. We will stay tuned because I don't think this is over. And I will be back tomorrow morning with the show. Got a whole bunch of new rabbi clips to cover and some other news, some other interesting stuff. Hopefully cover no riots. We got this out of our system tonight. And we're going to pray for peace. And we want to nuke LA. And that's my hot take. All right. Thanks, Karlyn. Bye, Karlyn. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.